My name's Andrew Watchorn. I've been working with the team that became the core team for Kiira Motors since 2008, when with MIT we were working on a project to deliver labs, remotely deliver labs through the internet to students from MIT to Uganda. I met Kiira Motors working on something that was very different from the auto industry, and I was working with students that were using our tools for this internet-delivered science lab project. But then they brought me downstairs at the Makerere Labs where we were at, and I saw that they were building a car. And I just happened to be from Flint, Michigan, which is where General Motors was started, which is one of the largest auto companies in North America and one of the top 3 in the world. So when I saw that they were working on a car, I thought some of the valuable things that were happening in Michigan might be connected to this project. Well, one of the things that was interesting for the students is they had gone through MIT. They had gone to a global electric vehicle design. I wouldn't call it a competition, but an event in Turin, in Italy. And they knew how to make a car, but there were some subsystems that needed to talk to each other through a central brain. And it just so happens that some of the technology that we were using for the internet-delivered labs could be double used. Some of National Instruments technology could be double used to become the vehicle controller. And so I gave them some ideas about how I thought a vehicle controller might be designed with our tools, and the students grabbed that, and within a year and a half I got an email in my inbox that said, "Hey, we've made a car. Do you know anybody in the auto industry that can help us to make buses and vehicles and cars in Uganda?" I was about 1 degree separated from, if you think about the 6 degrees of separation, I was about 1 degree separated from lots of people in the auto industry through connections at Kettering University, which was a customer of mine at the time. And they were able to get me in touch with people who started us down the path of making connections with people who were industry leaders in collaborating with companies that make vehicles around the world. I wouldn't say it's just Kettering University. Kettering was my starting point, but we got to the Flint Genesee Chamber of Commerce, which had connections to executive level talent at General Motors, and then some of the talented consultants that are in the next county south of us in Oakland County. And those became the core of the global partnership team that's helping Kiira Motors today. The importance of bringing global partners that have been working in the auto industry together with Kiira Motors in Uganda is one of the things that we tend to take as a given in entrepreneurship. I shouldn't say we, but that is taken as a given in entrepreneurship is it's hard to start a company in a place that has no history with the type of technology that the company is going to be based on. It's hard to start. I lived in Virginia for a while, and they wanted to make semiconductors in Virginia. It was hard to do it, and the businesses that were created never really took because they didn't have a history with that technology. Now, I don't know if they use consultants to build that, but what I do know is we can leverage the history of the automotive industry and the expertise that's given to our global partners to be in the center of the auto industry in the U.S. We can leverage that to jumpstart and to give the tools to this team that stands in. I guess it's a good replacement for the history, right? You're able to leverage partners who have history so that you can then internalize the value of what they've learned through working globally with their partners. Global partnerships are also important because when you have worked globally in an industry and gained experience with what a world-class standard is, fit and finish, use of electronics, other subsystems that are common in cars that are in places similar to Uganda, you can then take that global experience and share it with the local Uganda team. And the local Uganda team now takes their 10,000 hours of experience. And I think this is really important. There are some neurologists that look at 10,000 hours of experience and say, when you have that level of experience with something, you become world class in it. Well, we're taking now people who have 10,000 hours of experience being Ugandans, being East Africans, being Africans, and sharing this knowledge of global standards of what the quality and fit and finish of a car should be, so that they can then apply their 10,000 hours and mix it with the globally world-class, I should say the world-class level of information that they're giving to make vehicles like this that show their Ugandanness, their East Africanness, their Africanness, and then also meet a global quality standard. This type of project is very important because it allows people to reach just beyond where they have been. So we're not putting something that is an impossible task in front of these engineers. What we're doing is giving them engineering problems to solve that can be solved, but that stretch their abilities. Another thing that's important about this project is that there hasn't been a vehicle like this with the technology like this in this year, in this time and place, that's been developed by Africans for Africans. And that's an important thing to understand. When you're importing technology from somewhere else, it's been made by people who may not have the same experiences that you've had. And to have local engineers add value to a vehicle like this is an important step, and it's something that I think will make the team better.